Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? Gray and rainy day here in New York City. And I'm feeling it. I'm feeling kind of mellow. That's all right. Don't have to be going gangbusters all the time. Let's see who was first in the chat today. Well, besides myself. Adventure Nick from Blighty, what's up? And Kev Human, Komika Jalovic. Hey Doug, Doug Smith is in the house. Low Res. Eatsy's back. Electro/Techno Heads. Yep, that's me. Witold Zielonka, hello. Hello people. Kobanya 3000. Welcome everybody. Man, I'm listening to the sound of my own voice. I can tell I'm a little bit worn out today. I might have had some fun last night. It happens. But I'm here. Feeling pretty relaxed. Hey Live Society. Welcome. Glad to have you. As we roll along, listening to this old track of mine. I can't believe it. It's from the 90s. It's been so this one sticks with me though. I use this as an intro a lot on this show. It's one of my favorite tracks I've ever done. It's one of my releases on one of the labels I used to do, CSM. You can find it on my Bandcamp. It's called Recollect. So right now I'm recollecting, feeling a little nostalgia for what things were like back in the mid to the late 90s when I was really getting deep into growing my career as a techno artist. Who else is up in the chat in the beginning of the show? Audio Muscle is asking, what are we learning today? Remains to be seen. We'll get into that. Half God, Half Beast is here. Mar is here. Another techno head. All right. Let's get going. Welcome everybody. It's another Techno Saturday here. 343 TV brought to you by 343 Labs Music Production School in New York City, in Berlin, and online. We are, according to our website, New York City's in-person and online music production school, which, yeah, that's what we do. And Berlin, right? So, as usual, it's busy around here. A little bit slower. Gosh, listen to my voice break. A little bit slower. This particular weekend, we're wrapping up this quarter of our one-year program, and so courses are winding down and then starting again up in April with another quarter, another shuffling of students from one course to another and continuing on their journey through our one-year program. I've been hearing so much great stuff, like music of all styles. You know, I'm a techno head and an electro head and I like everything really, but that's mostly what I do artistically as a producer. But we have so many talented people around here right now. I mean, you know, everything from like pop songwriting to all the different genres of electronic dance music, people playing instruments, people producing just purely electronic stuff. A lot of really good music going on here at 343 Labs. So if that sounds fun to you, if you want to like dive into and get serious and join like a year-long cohort of like-minded creative musical people who are just want to be dedicated and spend all their time getting better, you might consider checking us out. So, you know, we have the links below. You can check out our New York City website, our Berlin website, see what our online courses are, check out what the whole one-year program is all about. And as I always mention, join our Discord. A lot of you regular viewers are in the Discord and submitting your tracks for feedback sessions. So I do have someone, I keep saying this, it's just a matter of scheduling. I do have someone lined up to do a feedback session, and we just got to get the date. And you know who you are. You emailed me. I got to get back to you. We're going to do it in case you happen to be watching or joining the chat today. So yeah, let's do it. I'm going to say in a couple of weeks, right? But I have another thing I'm planning, and I want to make sure those dates don't step on each other. But I saw someone posted an electro track in the Selway feedback channel on our Discord yesterday. Just to make sure, I know last week I didn't stream and we posted a message saying get your tracks ready, but I didn't mean today. Sorry for any confusion. I will announce the date for the next feedback session first in the Discord and then here on YouTube and wherever else. So keep your eyes peeled and have your tracks ready because we're going to do an electro feedback session imminently. I just need to solidify that date. One of these weekends coming up in April. All right. What are you guys doing? Who else is in the chat here? Imaginary coins. Very nice. What y'all talking about? Orbitals. Orbital's been on tour, I feel like, for decades, right? Those guys, they just keep doing it. I definitely am most partial to early works of Orbital. I remember the first time I ever heard Chime. It just blew my mind. How you could get so much out of so little with those, whatever sample that is that they used in that track. And then Belfast. I think that's another one. But yeah, I remember their first releases. Orbital just was amazing. And they're still great, don't get me wrong. Some of their more recent stuff has been good too. And they have a great show. So it's cool you guys are getting to see that. Kev Human, what's up? You're talking about Noah Pred. Yeah, we always have Noah Pred come back. I mean, basically, he's part of the crew. He's one of our instructors at 343 Labs as well. And we support him, his Manifest Audio company. He makes amazing Maxwell Live devices. I think, now with Live 12, he's had to update all of his stuff to play nice with Live 12. So yeah, we'll definitely have him back on. But yeah, let me reach out to him. Maybe we'll set something up sooner than later. He usually asks me. He lets me know, oh, we've got some new stuff coming out. Let's do a date. So, but yeah, I'll find out from Noah what his schedule is. I always like to have him on. He's fun to hang out with. He is appropriately nerdy. He definitely likes to go deep. I love it. And Angel, yes, I'm so glad you're here. It was so great to have Angel on the show recently to do a little bit of hanging out and catching up and then checking out how he works out in Logic. We got to do that again. There's been some interest and some talk about doing a little bit more Logic-oriented stuff. So it would be great to have you back. We'll just hang out. It'd be great. And I don't know if those of you who have been watching the show long enough, you might have been around for when I do the stream after like a late night out. It's always a little bit different. I always feel a little bit kind of more disconnected. So let's reconnect. Let's get into some sound. Not doing electro today, obviously, and I'm feeling kind of mellow, feeling pretty chill and cold, rainy day. So I've got some deep kind of dubby, spacey, mellow techno vibes happening. And we might just check out, whoa, uh-oh. All right, that's no good. Already with the rainy day technical issues, it seems that my computer decided to stop screen sharing. So let's see if we can fix that. All right, come back. You see it says no video. Let's see if we can get it to come back. Reconnect. Oh, no love. No. Oh, yes, I got it. Troubleshooting live on air. Oh, but now the audio. I just can't win today. Okay, let's see if it's working now. See if you hear this sound coming through. This is my rainy day vibes. Audio Muscle says John needs a coffee and a Red Bull. I had the coffee. I'm not into Red Bull. I got some Vita Coco. This is not a sponsored video, but I do like my coconut water when I'm trying to hydrate. What's up, Electronic Witchcraft? Very nice comments. I really appreciate that. And yeah, some of the stuff that Christian and I used to make, we made techno that crossed over into the progressive world a little bit, and we had really good support from Sasha and Digweed and those guys, so glad that was a entryway into our world of music. Thanks very much. Glad to be an inspiration. That means a lot. See, look, I always get more emotional when I'm slightly hungover. I'm a heart on my sleeve kind of guy. You know how I feel. I won't hold back, usually. All right, let's take a closer look at what's happening, which is just one loop, actually. Well, no, two clips going right now. I'll be honest, I just remembered the project name of this and like, oh no, that's a nice deep groove. I want to keep working on this. But I honestly am not quite sure what we're listening to. I'm trying to remember. I think this came up in one of my making techno classes. We were making some deep dubby stuff. Oh, nice. Okay, this is, I think I remember now. I remember where this came from. I used a reactor to generate a bunch of random sounds. I think just using, not this. What else we got in here? In the library. It was one of the sound generators. Yeah, it was Metaphysical Function. That's a really old school reactor ensemble. So basically, who out there uses reactor? Who knows what metaphysical function is? It's crazy. This is so hypnotizing, I can barely talk to you guys while I listen to this. I'm gonna force myself. All right, so it's just playing this one little... It's just a 2-quarter note loop, but there's all this other variation and stuff going on with the effects. Let's see what these effects are doing. There's some, there's a little delay automation going on there. There's a clip envelope throwing the send for that echo on the return here. So that's creating some variation, which is nice. Other than that, I've just got some filtering going on with some LFO modulation and some EQ and a track spacer and some to get it out of the way of the kick drum. Let's hear it with the kick drum. You can hear it ducking a little bit when that kick drum comes in. All right, so the saturator is kind of crunching it up a little bit. Probably should put this track spacer later in this chain. It makes more sense at the end. All right, so there's the filtering. There's 2 layers of filtering going on here. One where the low end is summed to mono, and then one bandpass filter that's modulating slowly up and down over a long period of time with a little stereo offset, so it sounds all spinny, moving around left to right. Those of you wearing headphones, you're getting it. And that's pretty much it. Really straightforward. This kind of clear, it sounds like this was another sound generated from Metaphysical Function. It's almost like it's metallic. It's almost like a cross between a bell and a horn. It's a crazy little clip. I just ran through some reverb, and it's just playing one note every 27 bars. I like making these, when these really chill, dubby kind of grooves, deep grooves, I like having things just sort of endlessly changing in subtle ways. You can just let the loop go and get lost in it without worrying too much about the structure. It's kind of making its own structure because of the odd numbered length of the bars. And the slow LFO is not synced. It's just sweeping up and down whatever rate it's set to. Let's see what else I got in here. I think just for, this is a bit of a cheat, I just grabbed the top loop. I might go back and program something instead, but why not? It sounds nice. Just had the kind of vibe that I wanted right out of the box. I don't mind making that sound really loud. It's got some sub bass in it and it just kind of rumbles. It sounds almost like another kick in between the main kick or a low tom or something, but really deep. I have a shaker thing. Let's hear, it's a shaker thing. Is it a shaker? Why does that take so long to come in? There it is. Right. I remember now. I'm using velocity to modulate the shape of this shaker. You can see it getting longer and shorter. It's also automating with the macro. It's making the release a little bit longer. I'll play with that for sure. And another chord stab. It already sounds like there's chords in it, but there isn't really. It's just, there's harmony in it. It's like harmonic textures, but then adding kind of a dubby chord stab every now and then. I might want to play with this chord stab a little bit more and make it not just one, but more. It's got a lot of reverb on it now. I'm kind of imagining in my mind now another chord sound that's faster and more repetitive, like another texture. Let's try it. It's gonna take me a minute. Stay hypnotized while I figure this out. Oops. That's a start. I hear it in my head, and I gotta translate it into the real world. Might not sound right at first, but it will eventually, hopefully, form into what I imagine. Let's get rid of these shakers. They're kind of intense for me right now. Short decay, short release, more percussive. It's almost like a drum. Let's do some velocity. Thinking ahead. It's not really doing anything yet. I'm just still hearing it in my head. Maybe I don't need that one. Make space for the backbeat with something else. Okay. Let's find a nice wavetable. Although it sounds nice and clean just like that, with that in between a triangle and a sawtooth wave, but this can do more. Let's do more. I really should be using Live 12 and using like meld on this right now. What am I thinking? I'm so stuck in my ways. I don't want to mess up my system with a new update, but I swear to God it's gonna happen. Let's just pause a minute. We're doing next week we have the Ableton user group in New York City. We do that at 343 Labs generally once a month, and next Thursday we're gonna do the user group again, and along with some of the other instructors here, we're gonna demonstrate what we're doing with Live 12, and so I have a deadline. So that's what's going to happen. I'm going to be forced to switch over to Live 12 because I've got to present next week on Thursday. So let's just pause for a minute. I'm going to come back to that sound. I was kind of into the groove, but also just wanted to do a little time check here now that we're we're almost halfway, right? Check in with the chat here. Itzy. Yeah, you were asking, am I still running Live 11? Yes, that's exactly what we were just talking about. Kev Human is saying you were using velocity to trigger different articulations and ARPs in UVI. Yes. Key switches are tricky with articulations and samplers, right? Because you got those like on contact. We were going over this in our synth and sound design class recently, where you can use MIDI notes to change the articulation of the set of samples, and it's kind of hard to do the key switches in real time, especially if you aren't using like an 88 key keyboard or like two MIDI keyboards, one to do the articulations and one to do the notes. It's tricky. Velocity is definitely easier. I agree. What else is you guys talking about? New Drexian is here. Hello. Nice to have you. Martin Crockett's here. Roman Tio. Did I say hello to you before? I don't remember. Did I acknowledge you, Electronic Witchcraft? Anyway, now I am. Seems like you guys are having a nice conversation going on while we're hanging out, getting deep into the zone, as Itze puts it. And low res. Yes, I will boost the audio. I turned it down a little bit earlier, and then I realized I turned it down a little bit too much. I'm sorry. When we get back to it, I will bring it up. Thanks for letting me know. And yeah, Doug Smith is saying meld is fun. The ease of use makes it a great utility synth. I was looking at it. It's funny that you say it's a utility synth. I think it's the kind of synth that can do a little bit of everything, right? And I'm they call it meld. I'm guessing they're calling it meld because it's combining all these different sound generation, different types of oscillators, different types of synthesis together. And I like that idea. So, maybe that's a good idea for my presentation at the user group next Thursday. I'll do something with meld. Thanks for the idea, Doug. All right. Cool. Adam Kozera, what's up? What's the best noise color for atmospheres? That's kind of a very broad question. Do you, what do you, can you clarify that question for us? Noise colors? I mean, do you mean literally like white noise, blue noise, pink noise, etc.? Or are you meaning something a little bit more detailed or specific? Let us know. Because, I like thinking about textures and hearing. When I listen to noise and I work with noise musically, I listen for harmony in the noise. And I just follow my ear. I don't know if there's one specific type of noise I would go to. I would just go through lots of different sounds or make different sounds and play with noise and just follow my ears. So anyway, let's get back into it. Let's fix the volume for you guys. Bringing it up. How's that? Let me know. I brought it up 6 dB. Can you still hear me talking over it? Let me know how it sounds. We'll go back to this little more percussive, rhythmic chord that I'm adding in the background, but I want it to evolve. I want it to be textural. Moving it through the wavetable like that could be good. I'm gonna keep it simple. Like the evolution in the other sound is just a slow LFO. I'm gonna do the same on this one. Let's turn retrigger off and slow the rate down a lot. Let's open the wavetable up so we can see more interesting stuff. There we go. And we'll get that LFO controlling the wavetable position. Sometimes keeping it simple is the best. Or you can go watch a Virtual Riot tutorial and go crazy and modulate everything insanely. I love that stuff, by the way. It's not my genre, but I really appreciate the crazy sound design those guys do with their color base and all of that. I wonder what this would sound like with some noise unison. More texture. Let's compress this a little bit. You can see it gets kind of quiet on the one end of the wavetable where it's less bright. Peak compression. Bring that up a couple of dB at the output. I'm not using the makeup gain. It makes it too loud right away. Now we can hear it a little bit better. What else can we do to this wavetable? I didn't intend for this to be a wavetable tutorial, but this is what's happening. I'm just following the flow today. I wanted a complex rhythmic chord stab that evolves, and this is a really good tool for it, to do something simple but with good details. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to reduce the amount of modulation so it doesn't go quite down to the bottom of the darkest part of the wavetable. It'll stay a little bit brighter. Maybe slow it down even more. Like right about there is about as far as it should go, I think. So let's back that off a little bit. There we go. And let's change it to a triangle so it's more linear movement. It won't stay at the top and bottom as long. It'll sound smoother in the transition as it goes up and down. We need to modulate the delay. I'm sorry, not the delay, the decay time. I'm kind of, do I do velocity for that? Or do I do an LFO for that? Or do I use automation for that? Do I assign a knob to it? Do I just play? I'm just playing. All right. Let's see what happens. Let's use modulation. Why did I say it like that? I have no idea. Retrigger off. We're gonna choose the decay time, and we're gonna modulate that. All right, it's too much, but you can hear there's some potential there. It's a little too jittery now. I don't mind that it's sort of pseudo-random. I mean, it's not random. It's one triangle wave going back and forth at a fast rate. Angel wants more cowbell. I know you're kidding, but I'm gonna take you seriously. Let me solo this for a second. I want to hear this a little more closely. It's going too short. You can hear like it's a little bit need really small amounts of modulation for this. I wonder if I do the release time as well. Pretty. I almost don't want to add anything else to it. It's so pure like that. Where we have warping and folding. Ooh. I gotta be careful with that. Now you can hear it go, no, it's a little too much. You know what would be better? See, this is where I need, and I was thinking to have it randomly change. Oh, yeah, we have that. We have random here in the matrix. So every note's going to be different wavetable position. I like that. I think. How does this sound with delay on it? Too much. I wanted maybe a different delay. It's a little messy. Okay. Might be losing my way here. Maybe that was just a bit too much. That's okay. Yeah, maybe a little too much with that random. I want it to remain smooth. The rest of the track is so smooth. Yeah, I'm gonna stop going crazy on that wavetable fold amount. Better. It was too much. I knew it. Maybe we just do a little bit of the really slow LFO on it, just so it slightly changes. Okay, cowbell. Promise to cowbell. But how about we just find a I'm gonna use it as a synth or something. I need to tune it. course, this has been done before, using this tuned down cowbell as like a musical element. You asked for it, Angel. Maybe we'll just do. We'll keep it rhythmic. And I need to tune it. I'm going to have it play together with the chord stab. Oops. It's something. It's a cowbell. Let's mess it up. It's looping. It's like adding a little texture to it. Do a little bit of tightening up on that with the envelope. How does this sound with the top loop, I wonder? Still maybe a little too whooshy. I said this was just a loop that I was using as a shortcut. Let's try it just with the shaker that I made with the synth. Not sure about the cowbell. Sorry, Angel. Okay, Kev Human is just mentioning that there's a new plugin called Visco. Well, guess what? Look what I got here. I just bought Visco yesterday. I just started playing around with it. I wasn't sure if I was going to get to it, but since you mentioned it, Kev Human, this thing is nuts. All right, it's got a built-in sequencer, but look, that's what was going on there. This is actually just me playing around with one of the preset patterns and sets of sounds here, but this thing is pretty nuts. All right, so you've got 8 slots, and each one can load 2 samples, and it can interpolate between them and do crazy processing to these sounds. It is insane. Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I didn't really read all the documentation. I saw it, Peter Kern posted it, and I listened to it, and I was like, I looked at it and just instant buy, because this thing is nuts. Okay, come on. All right, so like morphing from a kick to a clap, changing the time scale. Frequency transposing, but like it's not just tuning a sample up and down. I mean, this is resynthesis, some kind of resynthesis. It's like turning it in. Oh, oops. It is nuts. How do I get these defaults back? There we go. I kind of like this sound. I was playing around with this sound to maybe add to the track before I did those chord stabs. Now it might be a little bit much, but I'm just playing around. I'm getting to know this in front of you. I've hardly touched it. Contrast is interesting. How do they describe that? They say emphasizes the most prominent components of the sound. That is so general, but it sounds like it's going from, in the case of this sound, noisier to more tonal. And it looks like, all right, here's the thing. Can I automate these or modulate them externally? Yes. Right, so we've got contrast is mappable, time scale is mappable. So that stuff I can play with. What's density? Increases or decreases the noise component. So that's getting rid of the noise, and that's increasing the noise, and that's another thing that could be automated. This is really powerful. Deconstructing samples like this and morphing them in real time. And does anybody remember, is this like AI-based somehow? Is there neural network stuff going on with this? Like, and how it analyzes the sound? I'm guessing that there must be something like that. Kevin, he was saying Ben Jordan streamed with it the other night and got a universal thumbs up. I mean, yes, I've touched like 2 sounds on this, and I'm big thumbs up. This is fun. Actually, let's go back to this. This is the default set. We got this like kick drum morphing into a big noisy acoustic, more kind of a kick. That's awesome. The sound design possibilities for this are pretty endless. All of these things are modulatable. We have these editing controls. Push and pull the blob when dragging on it. It's like you're moving individual frequencies around inside. What does this mean, click and drag? Okay, I can make a small tool or a big tool. You make a more drastic change with a larger tool. This is awesome. All right, what does this do? This one is attracts the blob when dragging on the canvas. Oh, I see. That does not sound like a kick anymore. Amazing. Oh yeah, now if I bring the noise out, you can hear the individual partials. You're just hearing like thousands of sine waves. That's amazing. This is going to be powerful. We're going to have to do another show using this thing. Oh my God, I'm still like getting a hang on the interface. Like I keep clicking the wrong things. Good God, this is going to be great. For some wonky techno, for some crazy electro sounds. We're going to do this again on another day, I promise. Okay. I don't want to get too distracted from my groove, though. I mean, maybe we can incorporate the Visco somehow. Let's see where we're at. It's getting a little busy now, isn't it? It was so pure like this. Maybe we just do this sometimes. How are we going to fit this cowbell in? Let's granularize the cowbell. Let's put a fragments on it and see what happens. That's too much. I like just preset surfing fragments. Maybe it should happen even less. That's better, like more subtle occasionally. I could pepper that through the arrangement, maybe. stretched out now. Let's see what self-fed particles sounds like. Subtle. I don't mind the fast, high-pitched grains. That's cool. Let's lose that kick drum for a bit. We haven't had a break in the track at all. I'm thinking about other percussion sounds. This little shakery, this other shaker might be cool if it was just buried in the background, not like a main one. They kind of blend together nicely when they're both quiet. This is a nice way to add energy and more atmosphere at the same time. I need to mix it just right. It's a little bit, it's dry right now, but in a way it's nice because it sticks out. Haven't even EQ'd it. You might know I like to mix as I go. A little more of a scoop in that, a little bit less of this 1,000, 2,000 hertz, a little more air. Because there's already a lot in the mix in here. What happens if we take some of the low end out of the main loop? It's always there. There's always that rolling rumble. That kind of lifts it right up. It sounds crazy and like phasey. I'm gonna have to listen to that in mono. Actually, let's put it into mono so you guys can hear how it sounds. Doesn't go away. There's no big cancellation. It's probably all right. It's phasey in a pleasant way. It's not blowing the mix up. There's plenty of low end in that kick drum. There might even be a little too much for when I have this in. Because when this is in with the subs, it's really rumbly. And this might be a little bit too much for a big system anyway. Better with a little less 100, 200 hertz, somewhere in there. A little shorter maybe. And there is a track spacer, so it should be ducking some of that crazy sub out of the way when the kick drum hits. See what it sounds like if we filter this wavetable a little bit. Just to shape the peaks of it a little so it isn't too bright all the time. How does that sound by itself? Kind of becoming on the fence on this sound. I liked it more when we started. Maybe some more noise. Kind of smooths it out a little bit, especially when it's darker. Yeah, it's better a little smoother. All right, let's I'm gonna try to do like Visco hi-hat. Let's see how that works. We'll just start with whatever's there in the default kit and then change it or figure out what to do with it. Or is that a cowbell? No, that's like there's a snare. 808s. I have no idea what I'm listening to. You can already hear all this crazy modulation in these kits. All right. These kits are so weird, it's hard to get my bearings. Where am I? All right. We're in the Techno dungeon. We might as well use the hi-hat in the Techno dungeon, but we'll just make it something else. What note is that? There we go. Just gonna do your typical upbeats. It's already fine. All right, so we're going from it's a DMX shaker actually, to a wood drum. Just that alone is awesome, to be able to just shape shift your drums in real time. Well, let's try a different hi-hat. So we have inverting the frequency range. So if it was bright, now it's less bright. Reverse the timeline, so put it backwards. This is great. Morphing AI hi-hats. Modulating the time scale in real time. These macros do all the sounds in the kit at the same time, so if you want to do them individually, you do them here in the modify. I'm into it. You can go to the modulate tab and have a LFO. Modulates. Let's see, track 1 time scale. Am I on track 1? No, I'm on track 8. We'll make that track 8 time scale. It's going to get longer and shorter, I think. Oh, maybe if I choose LFO1 as the source, it'll work. There we go. A little shorter, a little longer. I love it. A little too long. This is crazy. Got some built-in effects. Filter. The effects sound good. At least that reverb does. I don't think you can, I guess you can modulate. Can you modulate the sends? Let's see. Global sends, yes. So track 8, send 1. Will be more or less of the delay. This is groovy. I like it. Lots of shakers. Okay, how are we doing for time? Almost time to wrap it up today. Seriously into this groove, though. I'm totally sucked in. We're about ready to arrange it, I think. I don't think I can add too much more to this. It's just going to get too dense. Maybe some melodic variation. The one last thing I thought about. I just randomly stumbled on this Reactor ensemble that's like vintage string synth. I like how it's got like the futuristic dub techno vibe, but then I come in with this 70s like retro analog. That's gonna be good. I'm gonna have to maybe work on this. It's a little too much phasey up and down. I might smooth that out. Just play clusters of whole tones. Sounds nice. I'm happy. Nice way to go out today. Lifting me up on a gray, rainy day. Okay. We'll end how we started. Nice, everybody. Ooh, there's a lot of feedback on that delay. That was good. I started out today feeling so kind of disconnected, and I've definitely reconnected with the power of music. Thanks to all of you for hanging out today. Doug knows which rabbit hole he's going down this afternoon. Yes. All of y'all who are producing, let's make some deep dubby after-hoursy spacey techno today. Whether it's a gray day or a sunny day where you're at. This is good sunny day music too. Could be like sunrise or evening music, right? Enjoyed hanging out. I'm gonna relax for the rest of the day. Actually, that's not true. I've got one of my 1-year program mentorship sessions starting in about 15 minutes. So I've got a little break here before I gotta work again. So all of you have a great day. I will do my best to announce our next electro feedback session date ASAP. Got to work that out in the next couple of days. So keep your eyes peeled for that. As always, you want to know more about 343 Labs, you know what to do. Check the links below. And that's it for today. Have a good week. Adios.